Okay, so this video is going to be a little different. I know I've only posted really two others. My really first round playing at Eastmoreland. I had been playing really well ahead of that. That round didn't really go so well. And then the round after, I really struggled. I was then on vacation, so I couldn't really record. And then I started getting the shanks. I went to the driving range and I was starting to work with one of my uncles, and I kind of helped fix his swing, and I immediately lost it. And as you could see here, I was recording myself, trying to figure out the shanks. I'm doing a couple zoom ins here just to show you that, like, even though my alignment was normal for me, where I'm aligning the ball closer to the heel, normally I pull the club back a little bit on the downswing, and it seemed like I was hitting exactly where I was. So I had a pretty brutal case of the shanks, where everything was just hosel shanking to the right, and I was really trying to figure it out. So I just kind of wanted to show a bunch of clips here. This is me in Santa Fe, trying to practice ahead of playing the next day, and it didn't really go so well. Couldn't really hit any of my irons. I got back. I was planning on taking a 2-week break. There was going to be snow that upcoming week, so I ended up trying to go to the range again ahead of time. Tried to fix it again out here, and kind of got it. You can see I have the alignment stick. The whole goal here is place something in front of the ball so that if I hit it on the heel, I know that if I hit it on the heel, I'm hitting my alignment stick in theory. So it's a pretty good indicator of where my shanks are coming from, and it's a good thing to try to force me to stay more back on my heels and not on my toes. You can see here I was even filming my feet, and my weight distribution looks fine. Like, it doesn't look like I'm getting up on my toes. Here you can see my left foot move a little, but all in all, like, my front foot, I'm, pretty much on the side of my foot in the middle. So it looked normal. So I really didn't know what was going on, but every now and then I'd hit a good shot. But overall, it was pretty inconsistent. Like, as you can see, that immediately went right. Even though I didn't even hit the alignment stick, I just immediately shank it to the right. But all was not lost. I did hit a couple of decent ones. I also noticed in my videos that I'm really pulling my club ends on the inside. So I've been really trying to fix that. You kind of see here I'm pulling it in, but I can still get a decent shot, and that one went straight. So after the range session, it was about 2 weeks later, I played on a Sunday, and I played okay. I was not shanking anymore. So this morning I decided to go to Redtail and play 9. And usually when I'm struggling with my irons, what I'll do is I'll play from one tee box up and just do irons all day. So that's what you're going to see here. You'll probably see me using that driving iron quite a bit. So the first hole, hit a pretty good shot. Ended up about a little over 100 yards to the pin, and I thought my sand wedge would reach. I thought this would be a pretty good shot, and I end up kind of scooping it a little and pulling, so I end up winding up a little bit short of the green and to the left. Here's my chip shot, and still not feeling fully comfortable yet. It's also a pretty cold morning, so here we end up kind of scooping the wedge again, same sort of club. I thought it was a lot closer. I get up there, and it turns out I'm, about 10 to 15 feet for the putt. Thought I hit a pretty good stroke here, but it ends up just kind of breaking off to the right towards the end. So just a bit of a misread, but we cleaned it up. I'm not really going to be keeping my score here, especially because I'm only using irons. On the par 3s, I am going to play just from the blues, just so I could use a longer iron rather than just wedges, because the whole point is for me to get practice. Here I have about 130 to the pin. It's on the very front of the green. I take a 9-iron because I hadn't been hitting well, and I strike this incredibly well right at the flag, and I somehow end up, 30 some odd feet past the flag. I'm dead center, right in line, just way far. Very confused how that happened. I was really not expecting that at all, but it felt good. Meant that I hit my iron pretty well. So I have this pretty long putt downhill to the flag. I thought I read it pretty well, and looks like I did, just probably gave it a little bit too much pace. I was assuming a slightly slower putt just because it was the morning and it had been raining the past couple of days, but it ran by. I thought I had the read on this comeback for the par. Again, not that the score matters. My body kind of blocks this, but it breaks. It just immediately snaps, like right in front of the hole. Here we go. So hole number 3. This is kind of a short par 4. Have my same driving iron in hand. And at least from the first hole, I was feeling pretty good. I hit it dead straight. This one, I kind of do a little bit of almost like a pull hook. Or sorry, a pull fade. But I end up in the middle of the green. I have close to the same number as I had on the par 3. So I have about 140 yards here into the pin. The pin's way in the back. I figure, you know what? That 9-iron felt pretty good. Let's do it again. I'm pointing right because I'm hoping that it kicks to the right. Kind of pull it a little, give a slight thumbs up because I end up just about pin high, just left of my mark. So have a pretty good putt here for birdie if I was keeping score. It would be like a pretty okay round based on how I played. You kind of see it snap right there, and I'm going to let myself explain exactly what happened. I'm going to say this on camera. That was right at it. There's actually that dead patch of grass, and it went right over some of those bumps and just immediately died and kind of took a turn. Okay, on to hole 4. I decided to film from the front. I knew I was kind of pulling the club inside, and I just kind of wanted to see if there was anything in my stance or anything else I could notice. And I put it in slow motion just so I would have a better view when I watch this back. You can kind of see I'm pulling in, causing me to come over and kind of squeeze into the ball, release a little early. But the shot ended up not being so bad. I noticed that with this club, I'm pretty much just fading it pretty hard. So here I am on the right side. I get up to the ball and I set up, and I completely forgot that the camera was in slow motion mode. But you could actually see a pretty decent ball flight. But again, I'm fading. I thought I was going to reach the green. I had about 200 to the green, and I end up coming up about 20 yards short here. So that's just, really frustrating because that club should easily reach. Still not comfortable with kind of the feel of the wedge in my hands. Scoop it again, leave it short. Just very poor striking here. This was a decent chip. I think I still scooped it, but I got it basically pin high, and I was about 2 feet. Didn't bother filming a putt. I just kind of packed up and continued on because, again, the point of the day is to practice irons, not necessarily score my game. So here we are on hole 5. This one kind of doglegs right, and I thought I was going to be able to get past these trees in front, but I didn't. So now I have about 180 or so, 190 to the green, and I was going to hit my forehand, and I was planning on trying to get it over the trees, and I completely kind of sculled this shot, hit it thin. I actually get it under the branch, and I'm very lucky that I end up in this bunker right in front of the green. So I thought I was dead to rights when it came off the club, but had a decent shot here, but there's really no sand in here. It's pretty compact. Can't get under the ball at all, and I just send it over the green. I chunk my chip. There's it looks like there's grass, but there's really just like a whole bunch of mud and like dead dry patches here. So I'm frustrated. I pull out another ball, and I'm just like, I'm going to try to chip this and try to get it closer, do a little better. Again, I'm just trying to practice my game here, and this one I kind of scoop up and it really goes nowhere. I'm frustrated. I'm going to go pick up my putter and putt that second one, not even bother with the first one, and it's going to let you watch me just be a little frustrated here. Yeah. We don't need to see the comeback. All right, hole 6 is another par 3, and we had about that same number again, about 130 or so to the pin. The pin was on the front again. Figured I'd take a 9, hit it a little bit past, and maybe have it roll back down the hill. And I clock it clean and pull it a little. I'm trying to point to get it right, but I overshoot the green and I'm way left. I actually have probably a good like 30 yards to the flag from where I am. Like 20-30 yards. It's pretty impressive. I duff my chip, leave it kind of short, just again poor effort. Just really not feeling the chipping in the wintertime with, you know, muddy fringes, muddy rough and stuff like that. Just really struggling today. This was a good putt though. I was pretty impressed by this. I just kind of got up there, whacked it, kind of read the line, had an idea, and I leave it right on the edge, so it's whatever. This is a par 5, a pretty long par 5, and it kind of goes to the right. So I hit a good shot. I faded it right into the middle. Give the camera a thumbs up. Pretty happy with that. Really, I know I'm just going to be hitting this driving iron multiple times on this hole just because it's so far. So here I'm aimed at these trees directly in front of me, but it peels off to the right. And I've been hitting the fade the whole time, and I do fade it in. I thought I was hitting it too long and I was going to end up on the hills, but it looks good. Give a thumbs up. And then it turns out that I left myself 20-30 yards shorter than I thought. I still have 200 yards into the green. Just really not getting all of the ball with this driving iron for some reason. After the first 2 swings of it, it's just really been downhill. Here I really try to muscle it. Think I get a little bit behind it and kind of close the club face so I don't get a fade, but I also come up short. And this pin is on the way back of the green. I'm actually about 50 yards all the way to the pin. So I really should be thinking more of a full shot than like a bump and run type of thing. And I'm kind of caught in between, come in really low and just duff it again. End up with a super long putt here. I don't even get the putt up the ridge, and again I'm just frustrated, gonna putt this out, and it's not even gonna come close to going in on this one. So this overall just kind of frustrated with the short game and the fact that the driving iron wasn't going as far as it should be. So this next hole is a shorter par 4, so I pull out the 4-iron, partly because I'm frustrated, partly because I know I need to practice some of the other irons rather than just a driving iron. Make sure I could still swing this club, especially since the shaft is different. And I kind of pull this off to the left. I kind of double cross, so I'm actually in the 7th fairway coming back. So I pull out another ball, and I just want to hit an extra one just to see if I could kind of fix what that was, because it was a clean hit, just pulled, and that one I actually hit dead straight. I did actually play my original ball in the 7th fairway, but I forgot to hit record on the camera, so I decided to run back to where the second shot was and record this one. This was about 190 out, and I hit a 5-iron, and both of those balls actually ended up around the same spot. So I ended up playing the original first shot, have this nice little chip up. That one actually felt good, maybe because I had been scooping the entire time on all my chips, and it required a scoop here. The camera was on a hill. I just thought it was funny. It fell over right as I was turning back, kind of lucky it didn't fall over. And I had this nice little short putt for par, and as with the day, if I actually was putting well, nothing was going in. So either my putts were horrid or the good putts came up inches short. All right, on to the 9th hole. This is another fairly long par 5 that also doglegs to the right. I'm expecting to get parallel to these trees, or maybe a little bit in front of them on the right side with the fade. The shot felt good, but I ended up way shorter than what I thought. I should probably be another 20 yards up, but that kind of felt about the same. This felt like a decent shot. I just basically laying up with this driving iron again, and I somehow leave myself with that magic number around 130 to 140 range to the pin. The pin is also in the back of the flag. Pull out the 9-iron, which seems to be like the one club that is really consistent and I'm swinging well for some random reason. I got a little bit behind this, but it's actually probably good because I end up almost pin high. I know the angle's here a little weird. I probably left myself like 5 yards short of being pin high, but here I have about a 10-foot putt or so, maybe a little less, and again, just like the rest of the day, kind of lips out. So, you know, overall, I felt pretty good about how I was hitting the irons. The driving irons was coming up short, but I wasn't shanking anymore. And really, I'm probably going to go out and do this again. And hopefully you'll see another video like this.